I wrote this story when I was 7 years old because I wanted to enter in the Fobisia short story competition. This is the story. Fred's magic power. Once there was a boy named Fred. He wore a big shirt every weekend, had a big brother named Mac, a little sister named Lily, a dog, a turtle, and some fish. This little boy is so special because his mother told him that he had shown his power when he was 5 years old. Unfortunately, he forgot what he did, maybe because he didn't pay much attention and played too much. Then, Fred thought, is it true? I'm going to prove it. The students in Fred's school teased him because of his dirty school uniform. Fred felt sad most of the time, but still, he wanted to do something that could amaze his classmates so they would want to be his friend. One day, Fred again wondered what his type of power he had. So, other students about his power, but no one seemed to know. Besides, some didn't even believe that Fred had magic. Some even said it was fake. They also said, "You can't fool me," though Fred was telling the truth. He tried and tried to explain, but all of them thought he was fooling them. When school was finished and the day was over, Fred walked back to his house. When he arrived home, he noticed that the fish were hungry, so he fed them. Just after that moment, Fred thought about the fish being a group of kittens. It became a group of kittens just like he thought. But as soon as possible, Mac ran down just to tell Fred to take care of Lily because she cried. A while later, Fred ran upstairs. There was Lily crying in her baby bed with her broken bib and teddy. So Fred took care, lifted her up, and went back downstairs to see the kittens. The kittens meowed. So again, Fred thought of making the kittens back into fish. And just like last time, the kittens transformed back into fish. Then Lily stopped crying and began laughing. Fred then thought that his kind of power was very astonishing. The very next morning, Fred went to school confidently. He heard bullies saying and doing bad things, but now it didn't mean anything to him. So he had an interest, a magic power. Fred even thought that his magic would be the best way to amaze his friends. After that, he walked to the playground and heard some students sharing a meeting. Fred quickly ran to see what happened. To his surprise, the students were talking about an apple tree. One of them said, "The apple tree's fruits have gone bitter." Then another student said, "Before this, we have eaten sweet apples from this apple tree, climbed, picked leaves, and ran around it happily. But why are the apples bitter?" Fred wondered if it was true. Fred thought, bitter apples? This may be fake. After thinking, Fred ran to taste the apples. When he took his first bite, he realized that the complaints about the apples were true. Suddenly, he ran out of sight. He chose a spot near the apple tree, thought of being one, and whoosh, Fred transformed into an apple tree. Fred thought about what to say. Before long, he was using his apple tree roots to communicate with the wilting apple tree. The apple tree talked about the students picking too much apples, but all the apple tree could do to stop the children from picking them. Why did the students pick my apples? So they could eat them. If I make my apples bitter, they will stop eating them. After that quick conversation, Fred ran to tell the head teacher to tell all of the students not to pick the apples for a while. Fred also told that plants need sunlight, water, space, air, nutrients, and time to grow and produce fruits. So, the head teacher told Fred to work with the student councils to make a poster about leaving the apple tree alone for 2 weeks, otherwise the tree would wither, and the councils also needed to tell the students not to pick the leaves from the tree. In the end, the students took care of the tree nicely, and they understood the tree. Like before, the apples became sweet again, and the apple tree stopped wilting. Fred now had learned his true magic power, making people happy. The school was happy with all of this and thanked Fred. The end.